Okay, episode 5 of DreamWorks Dragons Riders of Berk. In Dragons We Trust. In a sense, Stoic and the rest of the village and Mildew are getting sick of the dragons basically destroying the village again. At night. When no one is watching. But all in all, in the end, the dragons are sent away to what they call Dragon Island, which is actually the island from the first movie with the Red Death and the nest. So
it's the old nest.
Yeah.
It's now apparently vacated and empty.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say empty. It's a large island. It's still a good place for a dragon to make it, live there. But I think it's more like a communal thing instead of like a mindset driven by a queen.
Yeah.
But that's basic summary without giving away too many spoilers. Okay, now we're going to spoil things for you if you have not seen it. Overall, what did you think?
Pretty good. Seems like every episode's going to start with Hiccup voiceover explaining everything. So, of course, we started it off with the connection to the title. He talks about dragon trust, and they're doing a trust exercise with trust falls, but they're actually falling.
Yeah.
So, they took that to a whole new level. Then it goes downhill.
I apologize, my mother's texting me. But, yeah. This is a good episode. I actually, when it first came out, I couldn't watch it on TV, so I watched it online on CartoonNetwork.com. For some reason, we can't do that anymore. But overall, I like this episode. Spoiler alert: were you actually expecting Mildew doing everything?
Oh yeah. From the get-go.
Yeah.
I mean,
he
is out to get the dragons. He does not want them around, and as we see in his place, he's a great dragon hunter. He's got a tapestry of him killing a dragon, as well as all the weapons everywhere. So he's the creepy old grouch who will never be happy, especially as long as the dragons are around. But once the dragons are gone, he'll still have issues, because he's just going to be grouchy until the day he dies. But
which is hopefully soon.
Yeah. But, I kind of expected that it was him. I mean, before Hiccup kind of expected it to be him.
Yeah.
With the entire knowing that Hiccup was unattended. Or toothless, I did it again.
Yeah. But, yes, I like this episode. Pros and cons. Comedy. There wasn't that much comedy in this
and
one.
it was left up to Snot and Hook. So
yeah,
again,
and
he's going to be the constant comedy.
And the twins a little bit,
but it's mostly
not Snot and Hook fan.
Yeah, and he's the big oaf comedy clown.
Yep.
So they're going to really just use him for the rest of the comedy throughout. He's just going to be the human punching bag for comedy.
Yeah.
And it is kind of funny, him and his dragon.
Mm-hmm. Their relationship is quite comical.
The dragon runs away chasing seagulls, and he's crying on the inside.
But, yeah, when the dragon gets sent away at the end of the episode, for a kid show, that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not on the level
It's
of...
kind of like letting your fish go down the toilet,
yeah.
but a little more sad. It's kind of like you adopted a dog, but you have to give it back to the shelter because it turns out to be somebody else's pet.
Essentially, yeah, I presume. That never happened to me.
No, but
so
it's
I
happened
couldn't
to other
say.
kids.
So...
But it ended on a cliffhanger, if you could call it that. So...
Yeah. Apologize. My mother wants me to talk to her. But essentially, yeah, it's a good episode, really. This is very memorable. It had some dark stuff in it.
Some depressing stuff.
Depressing, some plain twisted.
Yeah, Mildew's a very twisted individual.
Yeah, watch the episode. Should we talk about that here? We don't really know who's going to be watching these.
I don't know. It's pretty obvious when you're an adult what the implied context of Mildew's
relationships of sorts.
Yeah, and his whole little short dialogue about marriage.
Yeah,
it's quite clear what his life has been like.
Yeah. I'll go into that a bit deeper. He says after the Great Hall was destroyed, he was like, oh no, the Great Hall, my 3 weddings, their 3 funerals. Oh, the funerals.
And he leans passionately against his staff and looks longingly upwards. Which, we're not sure what happened there, but he also then talks to their paintings on the wall, which are painted on shields, and he says, got anything to say?
No.
Good.
Perfect.
As usual.
Yeah, I think that goes into... Did he kill his wife?
I imagine he did. Because they talk too much.
Yeah. I never thought about that before watching it this time. But
and now it's Fungus.
Yeah.
Fungus is on... He's got his own portrait on the wall.
Yeah. When Hiccup sneaks into his house while fixing his roof because Snotlout and Hookfang smashed into it.
I like how he's the only one there fixing the roof.
Yeah.
Even though they were all punished and were supposed to fix the roof together.
So it said, you and your friends are going to go back to Mildew and fix that roof.
And
without
then who's
your
the
dragon.
only one there? Hiccup. So where is everybody else?
Yeah.
There's no way Hiccup alone can fix that roof.
Well, he could if he had enough time, but...
It takes more than one person to properly hang shingles.
True. So...
Especially when you need a spotter.
So yeah, he's on the roof.
Yeah.
But...
And he's disabled. He's missing a foot.
Yes. So why is the disabled 15-year-old fixing a roof?
Alone. Yeah. Unattended, without an adult. Or friends.
Or anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, just a random guy from the village would work. I mean, it's kind of well shown that Hiccup's fairly likable.
Yeah.
I mean, he did usher in the era of peace. People aren't being carried off by fire-breathing reptiles anymore. Although I wouldn't mind if Mildew did get carried off.
Yeah. It'd be really fitting.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's my one main gripe about this episode. Small continuity error. But, yeah, it's a decent episode. We're gonna watch through the next one.
Finally find out what happens next.
Yeah, the cliffhanger.
I hate episodes that end with cliffhangers, especially when it's like one more episode, then it ends on the cliffhanger, and you're like, okay, I have to watch the next one.
No. If you guys, any of you have seen what the episode I'm talking about, you will know the absolute hatred I have for a certain episode. We will get you there. I'm going to spoil a small thing for you. They ended a whole season on a cliffhanger.
They do that a lot. That's to keep you coming back for more.
Yeah, this is the first time, that was the first time they ever did that. I am not afraid to say this, I threw an absolute hissy fit. It was a great episode too. The cliffhanger was well placed, and if it was the next episode, I would have understand.
It really sucks for people who are watching shows as they air, because then you have to wait for like months on end until the next episode, next season.
Since that episode was on Netflix, those of us who were watching it, we had to wait 7 months, I believe, because the next season that aired after that stupid cliffhanger was a month late.
Yeah.
If we plot backwards, based on
you gotta wait for Netflix to get the contract to carry the show, which is after it's aired on cable.
Yeah. So,
The cable companies have to get it first because that's just the
oh,
way they roll.
actually no, Netflix actually acquired this series.
Nah.
So they just held it out just to bait us in, but we're dragging this out. We're not even talking about this episode anymore. So we're gonna end this right here, and in the next episode we are going to watch called Alvin and the Outcast, featuring a certain voice. Alvin.
They're Vikings. Who's... No!
He was actually named after a character in the book.
Okay, but still.
Second book, I believe.
That's not a Viking name. That's a European name.